Let's take a look at the weather for the capital cities before we head to the news. We'll start in Brisbane, a partly cloudy Monday for you with a top of 22. It's 14 now. A possible shower for Sydney in 19, currently 11. Head into Canberra, cloudy in the national capital, a top of 15. It's 3 now. In Melbourne, a shower later in the day. A top of 17 today, it's 10 now. In Hobart, partly cloudy and 15, currently 11. For Adelaide, showers this Monday and a top of 15, it's 12 now. In Melbourne, a possible shower and 20. In Perth, it's currently 12 in the west. And for Darwin, mostly sunny with a forecast top of 33, it's 19 now in the top end. Time now for 10 minutes of news. Thanks for your company this morning. Eastern Standard Time is 7 o'clock. It's 6:30 in the centre. In WA, good morning. It's 5 o'clock.
Good morning, Sarah Hall with ABC News. Transgender athletes will be banned from elite women's swimming if they've gone through male puberty. Here's Europe correspondent Nick Dole with more.
World Swimming's governing body FINA made the decision at a meeting in Hungary. 71% of delegates voted to ban transgender athletes from elite women's races if they've gone through male puberty. The policy requires competitors to have completed their transition by the age of 12. An open category will be established so that transgender athletes can compete in some events, but the details haven't been revealed. The debate intensified recently after Leah Thomas became the first openly transgender swimmer to win the top US college women's title. Nick Dole, ABC News.
Draft plans for a new capacity mechanism for the electricity market could see coal and gas-fired generators provided with financial support to encourage them to continue providing supply. The Energy Security Board has been tasked with designing the new mechanism, which would pay generators to have capacity available in an event to avoid shortages like those seen in recent weeks. The ESB says the mechanism should be open to both new and existing electricity suppliers, meaning existing coal and gas-fired plants could take part, but that decision would be left up to individual states and territories who could determine what sort of technology is supported. Energy ministers from around the country will be given a detailed plan for the new mechanism later this year, with hopes to have it in place by mid-2025. A former New South Wales Communities and Justice Department worker is calling for a royal commission to investigate allegations of abuse and neglect in the out-of-home care system. More than 200 current and former child protection workers have come forward with concerns some of Australia's most vulnerable children are barely surviving under government care. A nationwide ABC investigation has heard from more than 700 people and has revealed allegations of abuse and neglect of children in care. Former New South Wales Department of Communities and Justice worker Cora Ingham says the numbers around children in care are fudged and there needs to be greater scrutiny of the system.
The number of cases that are allocated and unallocated and the data that's available to the public doesn't reflect reality. A royal commission where people have an external look in to see what's happening. I know the review agencies are supposed to do that, but that's not what is happening, so perhaps a royal commission would be the best answer.
The New South Wales Department of Communities and Justice says it has clear oversight and reporting measures to ensure work with families is purposeful and timely. A call has gone out to a number of Toyota owners to join what could become Australia's largest class action. Around 260,000 owners of Toyota Hilux, Prado and Fortuner vehicles will receive court-approved notices advising they may be eligible for compensation following a federal court decision. The court found a number of those cars between 2015 and 2020 were defective and that Toyota had engaged in misleading or deceptive conduct in marketing and selling the cars. Matt McKenzie from the legal firm Gilbert and Tobin says the total amount of compensation paid could exceed $2 billion.
It will ultimately depend on how many group members come forward, but that's right. If a significant proportion of the group members do register their interest to receive damages, then it is likely to be the largest damages award in Australian history.
The US Treasury Secretary is insisting a recession is not inevitable. Here's North America correspondent Jade McMillan.
Janet Yellen has described inflation in the US as unacceptably high, but believes the pace should ease in the months ahead. Speaking to American network ABC, she echoed President Joe Biden in arguing a recession can be avoided.
That's going to take skill and luck, but I believe it's possible. I don't think a recession is inevitable.
The US Federal Reserve last week lifted interest rates by 0.75 percentage point in a bid to curb inflation, its single biggest hike in more than a quarter of a century. Jade McMillan, ABC News, Washington.
7 people have been charged after police raided a climate change organisation in Sydney's northwest. Police are investigating a planned protest by Blockade Australia when they conducted the raid yesterday morning on a property in the Colo Valley. I'm Sarah Hall and you're listening to the